Oh my God, have you heard this story?
SNAP benefits scheme. New details tonight as this state worker and her daughter face federal charges for allegedly stealing benefits meant for the poor.
That's right. The mom is a Rhode Island Department of Human Services supervisor. Dan and Patrice, investigators say the DHS supervisor allegedly stole personal information from hundreds of SNAP recipients through her job, all as part of a fraudulent scheme to buy groceries.
New photos show alleged fraud unfolding. A year-long investigation coming to a close tonight. 57-year-old Nadine Jean Baptiste and her daughter, 27-year-old Octavia Jean Baptiste, arrested at work today for allegedly committing benefits fraud. Nadine is a DHS supervisor here in Providence. Nadine Jean Baptiste accused of using her position with the state to improperly access personal information from SNAP recipients to check SNAP EBT card balances, changing the pins so she could use those cards. The two allegedly used those cards to purchase items here at a Cranston Stop and Shop, as well as a Walmart and a Market Basket in Warwick. Federal prosecutors say the total value of the SNAP EBT benefit cards the suspects used is $191,000.
She should do $190,000 days in jail.
We went to Nadine Jean Baptiste's house. She wasn't home, but we spoke with a family member through Google Translate. She then called Nadine, and that's when the door closed. Officials tell us among the people who had their information stolen, some were incarcerated or homeless.
It's absolutely horrible, and it's taken out of the mouth to people, and the families, that people that need it.
Ariana Cabral has been homeless for the last 2 years. She also uses SNAP benefits. As someone who uses SNAP benefits, to hear this,
it's horrible.
Both suspects were released today on an unsecured bond. DHS tells us they are supporting the ongoing investigation and can't comment on personnel matters. Live tonight in studio, John Perrick, NBC 10 News 19.
I'm not sure who those women voted for, but I'm sure if they did, or if they could, they would have voted for you-know-who.
Great every day. Tomorrow's never promised, so let's be ready for Judgment Day. Churro, this life we lead, be the best we can be for ourselves and family. Churro, be great every day. Tomorrow's never promised, so let's be ready for Judgment Day. King Churro, this life we lead, be the best we can be for ourselves and family. Yeah, your way don't ever leave this on of a dream. Even the baddie you're respecting, and you're ever the same. Oh, you ever do the slacking, will you ever do the hate? Be the best we can be for ourselves and family. Be great every day. Tomorrow's never promised, so let's be ready for Judgment Day. This life we lead, be the best we can be for ourselves and family.
Kamala Harris lost, y'all. And there are a lot of ugly women out here trying to tell y'all what women are not going to do. A lot of y'all don't even have the basis of what a woman should do for men. But y'all are out here trying to tell Trump supporters and men who voted for Trump, y'all trying to tell us what you and your ideas are like, as if you can get any man you want.
Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years. in protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex. Don't you agree? This vote wasn't a vote for Americans. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the handmaid's tale, then us women need to protest because this is some buttery bullshit. I'm sorry to the women and minorities who aren't going to get the help that they need in the next 4 years. I'm sorry for the people who are impoverished who are just going to keep dying from starvation and lack of healthcare and lack of governmental support. People are actually praising this guy and it's a freaking joke. Look at the states he won. You won't catch me there. You'll catch me in New York City. And I'm sorry to all the women who are going to suffer in these bumpkin-ass, small-ass little towns because of this. Reason why I'm a New Yorker and always will be. Fuck Florida.
Wait a minute, though. Aren't you the same ugly woman that said this?
I expect a man to pay for the date. Yes, the whole entire date. That includes my Uber to the date and my Uber back to my house. If you are a man that I'm interested in, I want to see that you can provide for me. I want to see that you can afford an Uber ride. I want to see that you can afford a nice dinner date. Like, can you afford basic things? Because if you can't afford dinner and an Uber, my transportation, you certainly can't afford kids. You certainly can't afford a house. You certainly can't afford my bills. And I got bills to pay. Okay?
Have you guys noticed one of the other amazing things is that people have finally started accessing parts of their brain that they haven't used in 4 years? We know how pregnancy works all of a sudden, and we know how to prevent it without abortion.
Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope he mass deports you and your entire family. Whether you were here legally or not, you gotta go.
That's like someone telling you as a black woman that you should go back to Africa.
I hope he does that. To you black men who your fragile ego,
says a snowflake who has to make a hateful video. Narcissistic.
Couldn't take a black woman in office.
And also, what else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
Holy fucking shit.
That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously.
So you either voted for Trump or you didn't vote at all. The police will now have carte blanche to murder you right where the fuck you stand. And when they do that, there's not going to be no GoFundMes. Don't ask your family to ask us for shit. Just die. They can't afford to bury you. Dig a hole in their backyard. It is what the fuck it is. But don't expect sympathy. Don't expect protest in the streets. We're not doing that. Black women, we're done with. We're done. We did our due diligence for this century and the next. We've done enough. We're not doing anymore. To you white women that once again voted against your fucking interests, when your husbands start knocking you into the middle of fucking next week, and you can't do anything about it because no fault divorce is in play, I want you to take those black eyes and those busted lips as a personal thank you from Donald J. Trump each and every time you get fucking hit. Take it. Don't look for nobody else. Don't ask for fucking help. Take your beatings. For all of y'all that voted for Trump, I hope you get exactly what you voted for. Because the only thing he did was make America great for the people that it was great for from the fucking beginning. White men. That's what he did. He couldn't run the risk of whiteness no longer being the default. Not being allowed to fail up. So when you're bleeding out somewhere and there's a medical emergency and you can't get no fucking help, women who voted for him, don't take it. You just gotta die. If you got kids, they just gonna be motherless. It is what the fuck it is. You didn't give a fuck, so we don't give a fuck. That's how it is. This isn't America anymore. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's not gonna be America. And if you think that Trump is gonna be in that office for 4 years, you're fucking insane. Because we about to be in a real live action episode of fucking Scandal. Because your next president is not Donald Trump, it's JD Vance. Because trust and believe, within a year, you're not going to see Trump anymore. He's either going to be, and they're going to say it's illness or he died in his sleep, it's natural causes because he's fucking old enough. Or they just going to let him spaz out and do the 25th. And that's when we really going to be in the Handmaid's Tale. So I really hope all of you who voted for him, you get exactly what the fuck you deserve.
So I'm scrolling and I see a lot of black women making videos talking down to black men who voted for Trump. And I just have to say, if you voted for Trump and you're a black man, thank you. And I thank you because I know exactly why you voted for Trump. You voted for secure borders so that us women and children can be safe. You voted for a strong economy so that us women and children can be provided for. You voted for our children to not be indoctrinated in this failed public school system. You voted for my right to not have to use the bathroom with a biological man. You also voted for our children not to be drafted into another endless, senseless war that only benefits the military-industrial complex. And also, you voted for the protection of our freedom of speech. The same freedom of speech that these evil, nasty, disgusting women are using to wish death upon you. So as a black woman, I just want to say thank you for voting for Trump. I truly appreciate you, and I'm going to speak life into you. I pray that God continues to protect you and guide you. I pray that he gives you the success that you deserve. I pray that he gives you the strength to lead your family and your communities. And for anyone who wants to say in the comments that I'm a pick-me, baby, I'm already chosen. So what about you? It's Trump 2024. You already know.
Yo, people, the Kamala supporters are angry. They are angry that Trump won. They are so angry. They're telling people, if you voted for Trump, we ain't family or friends anymore. People, my best girlfriend voted for Biden and Harris. And we're still best friends because it's life after the election. I voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020 and 2024. And we're still friends. Why? Because we have been family before this election. It does not change anything. But to people who's out here talking about, if you voted for Trump, we're done. Fuck them, people. They weren't your people to begin with. That is crazy to me. I have an associate, right? We live in Pennsylvania. She lives in Philadelphia. She gonna say that if you voted for Trump, we no longer friends. I don't even care because it's crazy to me. Under Kamala and illegal with her own property in our state before you did, sweetheart. You proud to be born and raised in West Philly? Under Kamala and illegal with her own property in West Philly before you did. So you need to thank Trump for getting rid of that nonsense.
55% of Latino men voted for Trump. Why do you think that happened?
Well, I think that economically, they were looking at things. First of all, you've got, in this country, you've got Cubans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Venezuelans, Colombians, et cetera, et cetera. And if you talk to the Hispanic community, depending on who you're talking to, they think differently. The Cubans think differently than the Dominicans. The Dominicans think different than Colombians. To some, the economy was a priority. To some, believe it or not, it was the border. You had some folks within the Hispanic populace that were encouraging the borders to be closed.
They want to pull the.
But here's why that's so imperative. It's so important. Because we're not Latinos. We're not Latinos. We're not Latinos. They're telling you that's what we want. We had to stay online. We have to be online in order to get in. Who are you to bypass the line? And one of my friends, I remember he used this analogy, and I never forget this as long as I live. He said, you like Six Flags, go to Great Adventures? I said, I have. He said, sure. Disney World? Sure, I have. Of course I have. He said, so you stand in line, Take about 2 hours to get on some of these rides because they're that popular. He said, and right before it's time for you to get on that line, somebody jumps in front of you. What you gonna do? And he said that kind of mentality is how you have folks within the Latino, within the Hispanic community, some of them, not all, but some of them who view immigration that way. So again, when you think about the economics, when you think about immigration, those two things are what I have found has influenced the Hispanic vote one way or the other.
It's your boy King Churro. Thank you for watching. Remember that you're loved and remember to be great every day because tomorrow's never promised.
Every day you wake up, you got a decision to make. To go right or left, up or down, right or wrong. At the end of the day, you make the decision. Nobody forces you. So make the right decision. Make moves, set the goals. Stop making excuses, man. And if it look like a duck, walk like a duck, and sound like a duck, it's a duck. Stop guessing. Just do the right thing. You heard? You hear me? I love y'all. Stay positive. Love one another.
All right. what brought you out here today? My wife, right? We're in a polyamorous relationship. The lover that my wife took is African American. And like I've learned so much about the struggle that people of color go through. As a result of my wife's boyfriend, and so I'm excited to really do my part to show solidarity for marginalized communities, and like the best way to do that is to get the first woman of color to be the commander-in-chief, and I'm really excited. I'm so pumped. Like I said, we have the first woman of color to be president of the United States, and like, you know, our country, it was founded on the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and in Kamala Harris, there's nothing embodies those values more than a Kamala Harris presidency. So I'm pumped, like I'm ready. You know, I am so excited. I'm a proud white dude for Kamala Harris, baby. Let's go.